betting markets like Poly Market don't see the Strait of Hormuz opening this weekend with a very high probability, only 6%. By next week, 33%. In 2 weeks, about 50-50. They had a meeting. The newest report is he's thinking about signing it, hasn't signed it yet. Welcome to the show, everybody. It is Saturday, May 30th, 2026. Our headline today is When the Inmates Run the Asylum, Fartcoin Looks Least Insane. Since announcing on Thursday that I was adding Fartcoin to my official portfolio, you can see it for yourself on my free website in the description. I've been reconsidering, should I really have this as an official part of the Robschild portfolio, but I did end up pulling the trigger today. It is there now with a 1% position with the explanation right below. In a nutshell, I talk about the fact that there's a heck of a lot of speculative wealth out there, especially with semiconductors being in a bubble, which is absolutely enormous in size when you consider the market cap. As long as we remain in a gambler's market, if the inmates continue to run the asylum, then continued speculation can favor the tail. And why Fartcoin specifically? I write right here, Fartcoin is not far superior to other cryptocurrency, except perhaps in one thing, and it's honest admission that its very existence is completely insane. All other cryptocurrencies I'm aware of try to be taken seriously, while Fartcoin's website reads, Fartcoin is a meme coin with no intrinsic value or financial return expectation, and this token exists purely for entertainment purposes. And I continue here, this isn't evidence that Fartcoin is better than cryptocurrencies, but as long as the inmates run the asylum, I trust the patient who admits he is crazy more than the one claiming to be the doctor. And so in the spirit of FOMO, HODL, TACO, and every other current and future tailwind of market insanity, Fartcoin is now an official part of the Robschild portfolio. And if you don't believe me, you can find the website right here, the official Fartcoin website. It's fart.dev. You scroll down, you click, it makes some funny sounds, and right here, one of the very few things they even say about it is those phrases right here at the bottom. Meanwhile, the home pages of other meme coins, such as Pepe coin, they're trying to be taken seriously. Look at the things that they say. Pepe isn't just another meme coin, it's a revolution. Here's why it's different. Here's why you should buy Pepe. Or another very famous meme coin, Dogecoin. They have a manifesto linked from their front page claiming, we are developing a currency for the people and we strive to do only good every day. Being useful, being personable, being welcoming, being reliable, not admitting any silliness or shenanigans. And the nincompooperi continues with Shiba Inu, another very famous meme coin. What does it say right on their front page? Trusted by leading publications. Shiba Inu has been recognized and covered by top-tier media outlets and financial platforms showcasing our impact worldwide. They have MSN, Forbes, etc., etc. And my take on all of this is, you know what? I'd rather have Fartcoin because besides the fact that we are at key support right now on the chart, I repeat, as long as the inmates run the asylum, I trust the patient who admits he is crazy more than the one claiming to be the doctor. Which leads us straight into our first community topic, Tangem. Tangem is a company that makes cold crypto wallets, and yes, I am now an affiliate. They sent me one for free to try out, and I like it a lot. It's very secure, arguably more secure than your typical crypto wallet because you don't have a seed phrase. At least you can have a seed phrase, but part of the point of the Tangem wallet is the fact that You don't need a seed phrase. You can put the code directly onto the card to the point where no one can possibly get access to your crypto unless they have your physical card. One of the most common ways crypto gets stolen is because someone sees your seed phrase. Their camera on their phone gets one glance of it and your crypto's gone. The other thing I really like about it is that it's not electronic. It doesn't have a battery, doesn't have a screen. It's like a plastic card. It's like a credit card. And to use it, you just tap it on your phone to make payments. So it's super convenient. I'd say the most convenient in terms of cold wallets go, and has a lot of features that make it more secure than other cold wallets. So if you want to support the channel and you've never had a cold wallet before, you can support me. I get commission and you get 10% off by using my code or using the link in the description of my video to get a Tangem wallet of yourself. After all, I will be very soon, I mentioned it in previous videos, but soon enough, I will be using Fartcoin as a reward for comments in the comment section in the future. It will either be a random comment or the best answer to a question. I'll let you guys know. In addition, it's another way to support the channel if you want to send me some Fartcoin. My address is in the description. I haven't gotten any donations of Fartcoin yet. I've gotten lots of donations. Thank you so much for all of the PayPal donations that are coming in, and they're helping the channel greatly. I really appreciate all of the donations, and now you can get yourself a Tangem wallet and donate Fartcoin if you please. Like I'm saying, I'm planning to use the Fartcoin as a reward in the comment section for the community topics portion of our show moving forward in the future. Moving on to our second community topics. What moves, if any, did you make today or on Friday? Believe it or not, Robschild buys HYG calls. But Robschild, your website says you have puts on HYG, and I do expect credit spreads to widen. After all, credit spreads are very tight, but as long as they remain tight, and we have a potential opening of the Strait of Hormuz, my idea here for a quick trade is that the 10-year Treasury note yield is very likely to fall alongside probably credit spreads tightening a little bit more before we start really having institutions dump into the retail lap. So if yields across the board are falling, alongside credit spreads remaining the same or even tightening further, which they can tighten not a lot further, but they can tighten further. HYG, I actually see as having short-term tailwinds before the headwinds take over and we go to the downside. Since betting markets now see Hormuz opening with a 70% probability within the next 2 months, a 50-50 chance within 2 weeks, I figured why not play the other side of this a little bit for now. Did you buy anything, sell anything? Comment below. Coming up, end of the war. When will the Strait of Hormuz open? It's not quite open yet. Gotta keep checking the news headlines. Also, the Trump tariff saga. Thank you for watching, liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, and all of your support. All greatly appreciated. On to the charts. The S&P 500 SPX on Friday rose 0.2%. It's a doji, but we keep getting these all the way up, and so it's just like they're losing their credibility as potential tops. And yet we all know that any one of these could be the top. I know Michael Burry in his latest Cassandra Unchained mentions he believes we're in a blow-off top phase, alongside everyone else. But I digress. It was a broad move generally. RSP rose a similar amount. Tech was a big part of it. Tech was up 0.4%. And while semiconductors actually were flat, they actually went down by 15 basis points. SMH. XLE fell a little over 1% in anticipation of the Strait of Hormuz opens. Once it's open and the oil starts flowing, there's less profit to be made when there's more supply. Also, Friday, consumer discretionary XLY fell about 1%. Healthcare also fell about 1%, and consumer staples fell almost 2%. So overall risk on type of day, rotating out of defensive into more risk. I mentioned on Thursday's show how low the VIX was getting, and we went even lower on Friday. There is not volatility being expected with markets right now. In addition, the VVIX got to levels rarely seen over the past year. This measures the volatility of volatility. 85 is my complacent number, and we hit it once again. This is oftentimes acts as a contrarian indicator. When nobody expects volatility, that's when volatility is sort of allowed to occur. Yields inched down on Friday in anticipation of a potential opening of the Strait of Hormuz, with the 2-year dropping 3 basis points to 4%, exactly on the nose, and the 5-year dropping, the 10-year Treasury note yield dropping 2 basis points now to 4.44%. With risk on sentiment being in the stock market, with tech being at all-time highs basically, Bitcoin's not buying it. Remember, Bitcoin is the professor of being the liquidity oracle, as I like to call him. He's still down like 40% from all-time highs. But we haven't been moving very much over this weekend, currently sitting around 74,000. Just like yields, crude oil also ready to break to the downside, but not breaking yet. Copper, relative to history, remains very elevated at $6.42 a pound. Remember, Dr. Copper has a PhD in economics. Silver is about $75 an ounce, and gold is now $45.40. Next, I wanted to bring up again the Schwab Dividend Fund, SCHD. This is part of the Robschild portfolio. If I didn't want to have to think about investing anything ever again, I would put all of my money into this. This is a Benjamin Graham functioning type of fund. I think over time it'll prove to have been maybe one of the best investments that you could have over decades. They do what it functions the way Benjamin Graham thinks. You buy the stuff that's gone down too much and sell some of the stuff that's gone up, and only stick to really high quality dividend paying stocks. Anyway, I bring this fund up only because we now have a repeating pattern. As you can see, April 30th, we have this green bar with inside consolidation, and then we broke higher. And then look at what's happened more recently. It's the same thing. Large green bar on Friday, May 22nd, and we have essentially a bull flag here. As I've said many times on this show before, and I continue to mention, I do believe that when semiconductors start to fall in price because of the fact they're not supported very well by earnings, yes, they have earnings, but not that many earnings. Like, the market's gotten so far ahead of itself, it's bound to pop. The bubble is bound to pop. And it doesn't necessarily mean that everything has to fall. It could look like things rotating into areas that make sense. Like I've said on the show many times, for the past year, I have been seeing whenever there's been risk off sentiment, we've been seeing rotation into defensive areas, including defensive areas of stock investment. So again, I can see the bubble popping and this continuing to the upside at the same time. With that said, there's something called market risk. If everything falls, if all boats are going down, this definitely can go down with everything else, but it doesn't have to. That's the point. Moving on to break-evens, the 5-year break-even inflation rate once again ticked down to a low that we have not seen since briefly at the end of March, and before then, not since before the debacle with Iran began at the beginning of March. It's still an entire 0.5% above 2, but it keeps going down. Similarly, in the 10-year break-even inflation rate found a new recent low at 2.38 on Friday, a level not seen since April 22nd. I'll finish off with talking about Tangem once more. If you've had cold feet about getting yourself a cold wallet, well, maybe now's a good time, since Robschild, your favorite YouTuber, has now become an affiliate. So check it out. And that's all I have for you today. That's all from me and my crystal ball. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Robschild.